where did I disappear off to? Well, that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. I kind of disappeared off the face of certainly YouTube and kind of Instagram to a certain extent after some videos, and I have quite a lot of new subscribers here, and I am very, very grateful to have you all. But I'm going to be giving a little bit of an update in this video about where I've been. It's not hugely exciting, but I thought, you deserve it, and my plan going forward. So before we get into that too far, I am going to be talking about the supplies I have. So first up, I do have the kit Magic Vibes by Lynner Designs. I did buy this as a printable kit, and I print and cut it myself. Of course, I do have those facilities available to me, and I absolutely love it. I believe this art is by Clip Art Kits, but don't quote me on that. Other things that I'm using a Harry Potter foil bundle from Scribble Prints Co. Of course, when we talk about Harry Potter, I do feel we need to mention that J.K. Rowling is a terrible human being. She's transphobic. We do not support her. I will not do anything that gives her money. However, Harry Potter is my life. Like, I grew up with it. Not my life, that's a bit dramatic. I grew up with Harry Potter. It was been a big deal in my life, and I do still enjoy the books, although it is now with a bit of bitterness. So I do have some kits that I'm going to use up, but I probably won't be buying any more Harry Potter kits going forward. So the other things that I'm using is I do have a sheet of quotes from Planner Hannah. I could have foiled the quote, but I decided not to. I also have made myself some solid colour underlays. Well, not solid colour, they are the yellow ink blot ink, what's it called? That sort of ink sort of style. And I'm just putting the gold sparkle from the foil bundle over the top of those. I basically didn't know what other colour or what other foil pairing I wanted to put with this, so I just decided to go for the solids, and I actually really like how it came out. Also, I am a Hufflepuff, so that's why I chose the yellow ones, because the yellow was the Thursday and the sidebar on this kit, so I did want to bring some more yellow in. And then I do have my trusty stickers pulled out in my Plannerface reusable sticker album. I do PR for Plannerface, so you can use Tilly to save 10%. I PR because I love her stuff, not because, I get free stuff, but obviously take that as you will. And the other thing I do have is my scripts that I have made myself. And I think that is everything that I've used. So there are lots of extenders in this week, although it was quite a mundane week. I will just run over the main happenings. I got my nails done. I went and chatted with my friend who does my nails, not the set that you are seeing at the moment, because we are now in January. We were in January when I filmed this video. Oh dear, at least half of it actually. I think I filmed, no, those are my January nails, so it was after the 29th of December, which is when the last time my nails done. Good. Other than that, Bayla was quite unwell the weekend, so there was a lot of looking after her and things. I had a games night, went and played Wingspan with some local friends. We went to Baby Explorers, and I also had a psychiatry appointment with the perinatal team. That was a little bit awkward actually, but it was okay in the end. I'm seeing him again. The day you're seeing this, I've actually seen him. I was working on the self-employed bestie planner, and there was something else I was going to say. Oh, I also saw orthopaedics for the last time about my foot, which was basically there's not a lot we can do. It's just physio and continue. So that's what happened in this week, and now I'm going to move on to where I've been for the last few weeks. So first up, massive welcome if you are new to my channel and watching this video. I had a proper surge in subscribers after my reading journal video, and that is the video that has done best ever on my channel, and I am so pleased that people enjoyed that. I am really proud of what I've done with my bullet journal and reading journal this year, and I will be sharing more setups in those. I know I haven't shared my January/cycle 1 yet, but I will be sharing that, and I think I'll be sharing my January reading journal at the end of January, because I'll do the books that I've read in January, though I am in a massive reading slump typically at the moment. I have finished kind of 2 books, kind of 1 this year, and I'm about halfway through a third. So one of them, I listen to books when I fall asleep, and one of them is that I've finished one of those, but it was the last book in a series that I'm now started again, because I use comfort reads for that. So I'll probably not put that in, even though I did technically finish it this year, but I'll probably start from the first one, which I'm listening to at the moment. But where have I been? Because I last posted quite some time ago. So obviously it was Christmas and New Year's and stuff, and honestly I was really not prepared for Christmas at all. I ended up doing a lot of prep and a lot of crafting and things like that I needed to do on Christmas Eve, which is just my least favourite thing to do. I hate to still be preparing for Christmas on Christmas Eve. I want Christmas Eve, Christmas Day and Boxing Day to be really chill, and it was always going to be a bit of a weird Christmas this year because it was the first time since my nephew was born that we weren't going to see him, and he was 6 this year, so this was his 7th Christmas, so it's been a bit of a weird one for that. So what we did was we invited my in-laws over to spend Baylor's first Christmas with us, and that was really nice in some ways, but also my husband was really dreading it because his parents don't particularly get on, and then his dad cancelled last minute. He said he was poorly, and that's all I'm going to say on that. And yeah, so I think the run up to Christmas, he was very anxious, and I was supporting him quite a lot, as well as trying to get Christmas ready. He also started his shared parental leave because he is taking 3 months off the Monday before Christmas, the 22nd. So I kind of expected to miss that week of videos and then come back on the 29th, which was the start of my new year. However, we just did so much that week that we just didn't get round to it. So like the 22nd we went to Yorkshire Wildlife Park, on the 23rd we went up to see my gran. Obviously Christmas Eve was a lot of prep for Christmas. Christmas Day we spent with my husband's family and my parents, well, my husband's mum and brother, my parents and my brother. Then the 26th we had quite a chill day, and went to my parents for a while because my sister came back to my parents that day. The 27th we did a like second Christmas day with my sister's family, and then the Sunday the 28th I honestly don't remember what we did, but I think I did a lot of prepping for the new year because I just really wasn't ready for the new year, and my new year started on the 29th. Then on the 29th I went to get my nails done, and so I just didn't have a chance to get this video up basically. And then on the 31st we started getting really unwell, so we actually went out for the day on the 31st and had a really, really lovely time. But we then went to my parents for dinner and stuff, and Soch was just feeling a bit not right. He was just not very hungry and just not 100%, and he just, yeah, because bless my dad, we had like leftovers plus dauphinoise potatoes, which, oh my god, dauphinoise potatoes are the nicest thing in the world. They are one of my favourite foods. But yeah, we had those, and then came home for midnight because we wanted to put Baylor to bed. We didn't want to get her massively out of routine, and actually we ended up still being awake at midnight, and we just said Happy New Year to each other from our bed. But unfortunately, like, I was feeling by about 11 p.m. I was feeling really unwell and feverish and just not right at all. And so from then we just felt awful for 2 weeks nearly. We started to get, like, it was a bit waxy and waney. So the first week we pretty much didn't leave the house. The first time I left my house was the Tuesday after New Year, and I literally walked to the shop because we'd asked my parents and neighbours to go so many times in the last week, mostly for like more painkillers because we don't keep that many in, and we were taking regular painkillers, and it was all three of us, like, we were all poorly. It was the easiest when Baylor was poorly too because she was sleeping, so we were obviously keeping her dosed up, and that made her feel okay, but she was just sleeping a lot, so we could sleep when she slept. But as she got better quicker than we did, and we were still just absolutely knackered. Obviously I'm not saying I'm grateful my daughter was ill. I am not grateful she felt poorly with us at all, but it was helpful for being able to nap. But my parents couldn't take Baylor that much because my mum's had the same bug, so she was not feeling 100% either, and just, yeah, it's not been very easy. So pretty much one of us has been in bed for those first 2 weeks of the year, which is just ridiculous. I mean, for some people that's the first week and the first half week of the year, but it was, my new year started on the 29th, so it was my first 2 weeks of the new year. We are now at the end of the third week of the year to me, and I still have slept in so much 2 days. So Tuesday, I went back to bed for 4 hours. I got up for like an hour and then went back to bed and was like, I just can't. And I slept for 4 hours. That's just not like me. I'm not a napper. Even with having like a small child, I'm just not a napper. And then Friday, which was 3 days ago by the time you're seeing this video, but it was 2 days ago to me, I was like, I just need 10 more minutes to my husband and Baylor. And my husband took Baylor downstairs, and I just crashed out until 11, which is just bonkers. I was so tired, and I'm still feeling that. You can probably still hear it in my voice a little bit. I'm a bit croaky and not quite right, but I've not felt that poorly for that long and this exhausted, I don't think ever. So I don't know what it's been. I think it's probably been flu, because of how awful we felt and like the symptoms we had. And bless my husband, he got superimposed tonsillitis on top of it. And yeah, it's been really hard start to the year. This week we've been a little bit more on it, but I'm still feeling so behind on everything. And honestly, I feel a bit stressed about it because I go back to work a month today, and I am really worried about going back to work. I feel a little bit better than I did most of this week, because most of this week I've not known what days I'm going to be working and things, whereas that has now been confirmed. Sorry, I am knackered, as you can hear from my yawn, and I'd normally edit it out, but honestly I just need to get this done while Baylor is taking a nap, because she's still not a big napper, so I don't get much opportunity to record voiceovers either, and I've got another one to film, so I'm not going to cut that yawn out, in short. But what was I even saying? Oh my god, my brain at the moment. But the point is, I just feel so behind on everything. I haven't set my goals planner. I've got my goals written out somewhere else and like the steps for them, but honestly I just feel so behind on everything, and I don't know how to catch up. I've got quite a few orders I need to do, and that's going to be my priority tomorrow / next. Well, it's not actually going to be tomorrow because I've got a couple of appointments tomorrow, but it's going to be my priority is getting those orders out. But things like, I haven't posted my Jingle and Joy prizes, and they have been ready since before Jingle and Joy, so I should have been able to post those on the 6th of December, but life has just been so busy and I feel awful about it. So the main goals next week, which is my last week of my first month / cycle of the year, I really just want to feel caught up and go into cycle 2 a week tomorrow feeling a bit more on it, and like I have a plan, and we're getting there. We've been doing a lot of bits in the house, like we were so behind on laundry and stuff like that, and we've been doing that, getting the house back into, you know, some semblance of order after Christmas, but I just still feel like there's 5,000 things to do and I've not done any of them. So that's a fun feeling. In other news, which is my really exciting news, and I forgot that this has happened. Well, I didn't forget that this has happened, but you may well know that I have been starting to go through the process of trying to get a diagnosis or assessment for ADHD. So I've thought I've had ADHD for a very long time, like years. Probably in school I thought I had it, but it just never really seemed like I felt like I needed a diagnosis. And then as an adult, as things have like picked up in my life, I felt a little bit more like I would benefit from a diagnosis. And then when I was pregnant, a lot of the ways I masked really fell apart, and my mental health team picked up that they thought I was probably neurodivergent. They were sort of thinking initially autism, but when we did the screening, it was very much didn't have very many symptoms of autism and had a lot of symptoms of ADHD. So they suggested it may well help my mental health and the treatments I had to get a diagnosis. And obviously NHS referral and wait time is about 3 to 4 years around here. My brother is actually on that waiting list and just waiting. But I decided to go through what's called Right to Choose. If you know about ADHD diagnosis, you'll know about this. But basically, the NHS can ask a private company to assess you and under the NHS. But you will have to pay for medication and stuff like that if you want to go down that route until your GP agrees to do what's called shared care. And usually that is when a dosage is established and things like that. I don't know if I want to go on medication or anything, but the point is, this all started about a year ago. My mental health team suggested I do it in true ADHD style. I didn't ask my GP to do the referral for months. well, no, I did. I asked them to do the referral quite quickly, but the stuff they wanted me to do before the referral took me a very long time. Then I asked them to, well, I'd initially asked for right to choose, but they'd given me the things for NHS diagnosis. They then asked me basically to write my own referral letter in short, and they would basically send it on. It then took me another age to do that in true ADHD fashion. Then they sent me a load of questionnaires when they did get the referral, and it took me probably another 4 months to fill those in. If you've watched my videos for a while, you'll know that I actually asked you guys to give me a deadline, and that is the only thing that got me to fill in those forms, believe it or not. They then wanted some more information, so it's just been pushed down and pushed down and pushed down because it's something that I've struggled to get the motivation to do. But I finally had my first assessment in December, and then I had my second one this Monday, I think, like a week ago by the time you're seeing this video. And they basically said, yes, there's plenty of evidence, including evidence from being younger than 12 years old, that you do most likely have ADHD combined type. Well, no, you do have ADHD. There are enough symptoms there that you have ADHD combined type and all three. Yeah, so that has been a really interesting adjustment in my brain from being, because I've always been scared. Part of me has been scared to go for a diagnosis because I didn't want somebody to be like, no, you're just shit at life sort of thing. And it's been really validating. My husband's like, it's just not a surprise. And it's not a surprise. I wouldn't have gone for the diagnosis if it was going to be a surprise. But it's really validating. And I've seen some things where people are like really angry it didn't get diagnosed earlier in life. And I think one of the things is I am a high achieving girl. Like, I did struggle at school. I struggled with concentration and like getting easily distracted and things, but it was manageable because I still did well in school. And yet, honestly, in secondary school I could have done a lot better, and I think I would have done a lot better if I'd got because I'm dyslexic as well. If I got those two diagnoses, I think I would have done better at school. And I did better at university as soon as I got my dyslexia diagnosis, so I needed that extra time and things. But yeah, I think it's been really validating. But I'm pretty much at the end of the video now, so that is my little bit of life update and a bit about my ADHD diagnosis. I am gonna look at taking meds. I haven't decided whether I'm going to yet, but that's where we're at. But if you enjoyed this video, YouTube will be recommending my playlist of previous Plan With Me's on the screen now, as well as video it thinks you will enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in my next video, which will be coming Friday. Bye!